Hello everybody, this is Christina, aka Imagining Mystic, and welcome to episode 3 of my Sims 4 Get-Together Legacy Challenge Preview. As you can see, I'm not playing the same sim as the last 2 episodes. I showed you guys with the previous sim what it would look like to start a brand new legacy. Now I actually want to show a little bit of some of the changes and things that we might be adding with a family that's already established. So what I did is I actually downloaded a previous legacy family that I used to play from the gallery, and I moved them into one of the already built lots in Windenburg. I actually evicted the family that lived here. Now, one thing I do want to point out, and hopefully this is going to get fixed before the official release of the game, but I'm noticing that you can't actually put lots that already exist onto your lots because not in this game mode. Let me show you. You can't place houses that are already in the gallery into these lots, and I'm going to show you the reason why. So let's see. That's a library. Hang on. We need a house. Here's a house. Okay. So this is a house. Unfortunately, the type is listed as unknown, and it's not letting you add this because it's technically a residential lot, but because it's listed as unknown, you can't place it. Now, I don't know if that was an error or something that I did, but I'm noticing that all of these other houses that I have in my library are not going to be able to be put in because they're all listed as the unknown type, which is kind of a problem. That means that we can't install houses onto lots from the gallery, at least until that's fixed. Now, it's not really a big deal for the purpose of this, or even for the purpose of a legacy family, but, you know, something hopefully that should get fixed. Now, the family that I have installed is a previous legacy family, so they've already got lots of money. They've got several, I think this is like generation 3 or something of this family. Yeah. The parents are unfortunately not listed anymore, but they were there. So yeah, more established legacy. I kind of want to see how, like, you pass on the title of leader. I'm assuming you could just do it. Now, I don't know what happens if a leader of a club dies. So that's actually something I want to play around with a little bit in this particular generation. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to age up both of the parents, which is are these two parents, or these two Sims here, to elder, and then get to the point where they're going to die. I'm going to have her be the one to found it, and then see what happens once she dies. So I'm going to get the cheat going for that. And let's see. I want to be able to set her age, although I guess I could just kill her. Like, I could have her found the club and then give it to somebody else, because that is something I need to figure out how to do. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to find a new legacy club, and we will invite all of the family members to it. As you can see, this was a fantasy-themed legacy. Okay, so those are all of the family members. We're going to add them all to the club. Oh, let's call it the Legacy Club. What legacy will you leave? Okay. Now, if you decided to make an exemplar club and you ended up not getting an heir with the right trait, that might end up being a little bit of a problem, because then that person won't be able to join this club. So you'd probably have to change the requirements out. You could always set it to have specific fitness things. Honestly, I'm not going to put any requirements for this particular club. There. Okay. So Legacy Club is done. We'll just set an icon. And Minerva is the founder. So what I need to see at this point is how the clubs get passed down. Like, if she dies, does the club just cease to be, or does it get passed down to another member? So that would be something to figure out. Now, let's see. How do you... Is there any way to promote people? She's the leader. But I don't see any way to promote people unless you have to do something specific. So yeah, what I'm trying to figure out is if the clubs will just pass on to one of the other members if the founding member dies. Because if she dies... Oh, I just realized that it's called the Legacy Club. Because I put club in, but club is automatically added, so you don't have to add club, because now it's the Legacy Club. We don't need the Legacy Club. Okay, but anyway, that's not a huge deal. Okay, so let's... Apparently, Albus is becoming an elder. Alrighty then. That's cool. I tried to age up the other sim, but for some reason she didn't want to. Okay. So let's see. She's... What is that? The Legacy Club gathering has started. Apparently we started a gathering. Okay. Well, let's start with the perks. We'll do that one. Okay. Alright, so we'll just start gathering points. Now, I think... Oh, hey, the welcome wagon. Oh, no, that's something else. That's the neighbors greeting us, but whatever. Now, okay, unfortunately, I think I'm going to, kill off, the leader just to see how this happens. If it turns out that the club ceases to be when she dies, we would have to figure out, how we can go about doing that. I would say that you'd probably have to figure out how to promote somebody, if there's even a way to do that. I can't seem to find it. Oh, wait a minute. I think there's a social interaction for it. Let me see something. Kick out. Discuss. Shouldn't there be some sort of... Oh, maybe it's because she's a teenager. Let's try him. Because I know in the other video that I did, there was a resign from club, and I am not seeing that option. And I can't even see a way to... Maybe you have to be... No, you don't have to be friends with the person. Oh, wait, clubs. Kick out, welcome member, resign. Resign from Legacy Club. Okay, so she can resign, but I don't see an option to promote. Welcome member. Okay, well, we'll welcome him. Welcome to the club. Okay, so now after I've welcomed him, let's see if any other... kick out, talk about, resign. Okay, so, well, first of all, let's see what happens if we kill her off. I know... I'm starting this off rather morbidly, but I want to see exactly how this works. Like, if we're going to have some sort of club that persists through all 10 generations, we have to see how it's going to function once a sim dies. Is it going to continue and somebody else gets the leadership role, or do you have to resign before you die? Because that's going to require some planning on the player's part. So let's cheat her down. Let's cheat her to death. Let's see. Death by... I don't want to be mean. Let's have her die of laughter, because you know what? It's sim... Okay. Testing cheats on. Okay. Sims add. Buff. Hysterical. Okay, I think that worked. You cheated to get this moodlet. I never even noticed that was a thing. Oh wow, and it gives it to her for 20 days. Isn't she supposed to die from it? I've never even seen the hysterical one. How do I get her to actually die from it? All right, yeah, go pee. I don't actually know how to do this. I don't cheat death. I don't cheat in deaths. I don't know how this works. Because I thought she was supposed to die from it, but she didn't. Oh, okay, I see how it works. I actually just had to read it. She just needs to stay in the hysterical moodlet for a few hours, and she'll die. So I'm gonna edit this part out, and once she dies, we will see how exactly this works. Okay, here we go. She's dying. Now we get to see what happens to the club when the club leaders die. And I feel so bad that I just killed her. She used to be my legacy heir. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. I am a terrible person. And she died at the gathering. So I'm really curious what happens when you die at a gathering. Is it gonna, like, give you... I would like to point out, though, that they are still gaining club points, even though she just dropped dead. So, alright. Alright, Grim, hurry up, do your thing. I want to see what happens to the club when she dies, because that's going to be an important thing to see how it works in the Legacy Challenge. And we'll have to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that. So yeah, by the way, guys, this is exactly what happens when we are playtesting the Legacy Challenge. We do all sorts of terrible things like this, just to see what happens. Now, here's what happened. She died. The second person that was invited into the club became the leader. So that was Marco. Club does not cease to be. The club continues to be a thing. So we don't have to worry about the club leaving once a family member dies. That means that this club can persist within this family indefinitely, basically until the end of the 10 generations. You just have to make sure that the heir is in the club. Since there is a limit to how many people can be in the club, you're going to want to make sure that you always have room for the current heir so that they are able to join. And I would also recommend allowing children into the club just in case something happens while they're still a child and they're going to be the heir. That way you have it already there and they're already in the club and you don't have to worry about them not being able to get access later, just in case there's only a few people in the club. So yeah, it does pass on. That's awesome to know. And we've already got a ton of club points, so we can add a handshake, and we can increase the club size, which will allow us to have 7 Sims in total. We can even get social bonuses. We can get friendly interactions, so we'll do that one. And let's see, we can get a skill boost as well. So let's boost creativity. So this is all really, really cool. So having a family club is definitely going to be something that you're going to want if you have get-together, because there's skill boosts for it, there's mood boosts, there's all sorts of stuff that are going to make the Legacy Challenge a little bit more interesting. And, you know, if every single member of your family is in here and they have this creativity boost, well, if you happen to have the creative exemplar trait, for example, and you want to get them to paint things higher quality quicker, well, they're already in the club, so that means that creativity boost is going to help them get their creativity skill up quicker. It'll also help for collecting skills within the collection bonuses, and so there's a whole lot of stuff that's going to help with the Legacy Challenge in that regard. So really, I would say that the club section of this is basically taken care of. Like we've more or less established that there is going to be some sort of a legacy club. It'll probably be an optional thing, so that if you don't want to have a legacy club, you don't have to have one. It's basically kind of like how in The Sims 2 you had the businesses, but you didn't have to have a business for all 10 generations. It was just an optional bonus to give you more points. And so this is how the clubs are going to work. In The Sims 4, at least I think that's how it's going to work. And club perks are going to be a collection. And then there's all these venues. I don't really see the venues as being any sort of addition to the Legacy Challenge. Really, it's basically the club aspect of it that's going to be added to the Legacy. Obviously, we're going to add the new aspiration. We're going to add the new traits. But as far as everything else, I think that we've basically covered everything. Obviously, the skills are going to be added. Natural pools, I don't see how they're going to be a thing. You can have one. There's no rule against it. we do have to talk about the extreme option. So we need to figure out how exactly we're going to get the money down. And if you guys have any suggestions on that, we will be able to kind of discuss it and see how that part's going to work. But yeah, there's really nothing else that's been added to Get Together that I really needed to touch upon. It's really just kind of how they're going to interact with the Legacy families. And for the most part, it's pretty straightforward how this is going to work. It's going to obviously boost social, and it's going to basically make your Legacy family a little bit more quote unquote powerful. Because if you add the popularity or the infamous perk, more people are going to know who they are. Kind of like how it was in The Sims 3. If you had a superstar, everybody would be like, oh my god, it's you! That's awesome! Like, it's kind of like that, I'm assuming. So yeah, and I would say that there's going to definitely be a subsection for collecting the perks. I wouldn't say collecting all of them, since some of them are contradictory. Like, you can't have a popular club and an infamous club at the same time. Or at least I don't think you can. No, see, you can't. It switches. So, yeah, since some of them are going to contradict each other, you can't have all of them. Like, see how this one... Oh, I'm a derp. I should have just read that. One allowed. Club sized. Obviously, the rest of these, you can get all of them. So there is going to be some sort of a collection bonus for these. And they're going to be their own subcategory. So that if you don't have a Sims 4 Get Together, it won't matter. It's not going to be a detriment to you. It's not going to hurt your points. It's only going to be added if you have Get Together and if you choose to add this category to your list. And again, we're going to need to figure out how to retroactively do this for families that are already established. I would say that if you already have an established Legacy family, and you're not going to have time to get all of these perks before your Legacy family is done, then you may want to just skip it. Or just add it for the heck of it and don't count it for points. There's always that option too. You can always add a club. You just might not get points for it, and that'll be your prerogative. But it's not going to be a detriment to you. You're not going to lose points if you decide not to do it. So yeah, I think this is basically everything that needs to be covered for the Sims 4 Get Together in regards to the Legacy Challenge. The venues themselves, I don't think are going to be they're not going to really add or take away from the Legacy Challenge. I don't think we're going to need to change anything for it. They're just basically a place to hang out. It's not like we can own them like we could in The Sims 3, so that's not going to change. But yeah, the clubs, having a Legacy club, I think is definitely going to be a thing. And we're going to probably let you do those however you want to have them. Like, you can basically do whatever the heck you want, and that'll be your Legacy club. As long as it stays in your family for 10 generations, that's fine. So yeah, that's about it. This was kind of a short little mini series, just kind of showing you guys all of the changes that we have coming for the Get Together. We will be posting the updated rules and the updated random trait generators within the next few days. Probably not going to happen before the release of the game. We did get it a couple of days in advance, but there's a lot of stuff that has to happen before that. But I will try to get it done as soon as possible. Hopefully by the end of the week I can get all these rules written out and onto the Legacy Challenge website, along with the updated random trait generator. I will have a link for these videos there as well, so that you can kind of take a look at some of the changes and what some of the venues have added. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this final little video, just kind of checking to see how clubs pass. Like I said, this was basically just a giant playtesting series, just for me to take a look at how Get Together is going to affect the Legacy challenges. I'll probably actually do, because since I have been thinking about adding a quick tip series to my channel, I will definitely be doing some sort of Get Together Legacy Challenge quick tip video at some point, basically talking about how to set up clubs, and actually getting them maybe for the maximum benefit of your family. But again, that's going to have to be something you're going to have to decide, because there's so many options. I would say that no two clubs are going to be alike. There's way too many options. There's so many different options. They're infinite. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the playtesting series. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a comment below. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day and happy simming. Bye!